Sorry, I think I paused the recording. Okay, anyhow, you got the first day's session, no? In that it will be there. Okay, so do I need to repeat once again or it is not a problem? Everybody? Is it okay? Or I have to repeat it? Please tell me so that I'll just to follow your views.
So explain one more time, please.
See, okay, so I said yesterday's session, I just repeated what? The Linux is an operating system. This operating system is divided into how many parts? Logically, not physically, into two parts. What are they? The first part is what? Shell. The other part is kernel. So what the shell will do? So once we open the terminal to apply the command, like in Windows, if you want to apply the command, you have to open what? Command prompt. In Linux, we need to open the terminal. So once you open the terminal, what is the default shell we are using? Bin bash. So once we open the shell and write the command, so first thing the shell will do, it will check the command is correct or not. If it is not correct, what it will display? Command not found. If it is correct, then it will check the user who has given this command have the privilege or not. If that user don't have the privilege, it will prompt a message, access denied, permission denied. If it is there, permission, then what it will do in the background, it will convert that command, which is in high level language, to binary and send it to the kernel. Now, once that command is received by kernel, kernel is called the core or the brain of the Linux OS. Now it will send it to the hardware. That is our main part, CPU. Now, which will now do the task and provide the output in binary format. So what the kernel will do? Kernel will send that output, which is in binary format, to the shell. Now the output, which is in binary format, the shell will convert it into high level. When input is given, it is in high level, so it will convert into binary and send to kernel because the computer understands binary language. And when the output is in binary, the users cannot understand the binary output, so it will convert that into high level. I hope you understood what is the role of the shell. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then in Windows, do you have the shell? No. So it is like a security guard. Only the commands which are predefined will be executed, not the other commands. Okay. So if somebody send the like virus file in Windows, the Windows will have the file with execute permission, and there is no security like shell. So whatever command is there, if user unknowingly try to execute, because they don't know that is a virus file, somebody has sent it to make your network disturbed. So if it is came to Windows environment, as a user, you don't know, you just run that file without knowing that is a virus file, it will run and your network will get affected, the system will get corrupted. But if such same scenario occurs in Linux environment, will it damage the Linux network? No. Why? If any file which is not predefined in the command will not be executed because Linux will be there without execute permission, and it will allow only predefined commands to run. So if somebody sent the virus file, if a user try to run it also, it cannot run because the shell will not allow. So the Linux machines will not be corrupted with the virus because of the shell and no execute permission. Okay, so this security makes Linux more secure. And as I told you, this course will help you not only work like a Linux admin, even if you have a gap of 2 to 3 years, you can cover because the depth will be such that. And after that, you can also move to the next level like AWS DevOps, VM admin, Oracle, Hadoop, FASAP. All this runs on the background Linux. Then I told you what are the topics which you are going to cover in this Linux. I hope there's no need to repeat or I need to repeat. Tell me, do I need to repeat or not required?
No need to repeat, sir.
Okay, so now we will go to today's topic. That is the structure. So just now I told you the structure of the Windows. So Windows OS will be there, or Windows OS will be installed on how many partition? Windows OS will be installed on how many partition? Single partition. So what is the advantage with that? What is the advantage with that? It is easy to operate. So now suppose this is my machine. Suppose this is my machine. Let me close and do it once more for your purpose.
एडवांस डबल लेना नहीं जी एडवांस 2-3 महीने का लेना ना
ले लिए 3 महीने का लिए तो
लेना
1 महीने का दे दिए
फिर कभी मीटर बिल बाकी रखे साले गाँव आने क्या आपने भी रास्ता बता
Okay, so now let's say suppose this is the machine installed with the Windows OS. So like most of the people, they will use Windows. So mostly it is used for client purpose and home purpose because it is easy to operate. But this setup has its own disadvantage. What is that? Let us discuss. So now when you install the Windows OS, where it will get installed? On the C drive, single drive. So this drive is a collection of folders. So this drive is a collection of folder. So these folders will be in the form of multiple folders like Windows folder. This Windows folder contain subfolders indicating system 32, which contains system details, system files, the log files, then temporary files, the drivers. All these things will be there in where? In the Windows folder. So along with Windows folder, you have a separate folder called program file, program files, which contain installed applications. So whenever we install any application in Windows, where it will get installed? It will get installed on the program file. So it contains all installed application, all installed application. Then you have a folder with a name called users. So this users folder contain for every user one subfolder. Suppose administrator has logged in and created the data. So a folder with the name administrator will be there in users, which contain administrator data, administrator created file. So suppose the admin has created a user called U1. So with the U1 name folder will be created. So if U1 create any files or directory, it will be created under C drive users U1 folder. If admin create a user with the U2 name, suppose, then a folder with the name U2 will be created, which contain U2 user data. Okay. Now this is very easy to operate. That's why people mostly use for home purpose and client purpose. But in this, what is the main drawback is everything is on a single drive. So suppose this user unknowingly downloaded some virus file. So once this folder get affected, so that effect will not be limited to here only, because everything is on a single folder. So this user U1 folder comes under which folder? User. So once one folder get affected, it will affect, it belong to which folder? That. So once U1 get affected, it will affect the users, user folder. Now user folder belongs to where? C drive. Now it will affect what? C drive. Once the C drive will get affected, entire Windows will get affected. So this is the problem with the setup. I hope you understood this. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you do this, same thing, same scenario in Linux, same problem will occur? No. Why? Because the Linux OS can be installed on multiple partition. The Linux OS can be installed on multiple partition. So suppose this is your machine in which you have installed Linux OS. So first thing you have to remember that in Linux, there is no drive letter. So Linux OS is based on directory, So Windows OS get installed where? On C drive. Linux OS get installed on the directory called /, which is called root directory. What it is called? Root directory, similar to C drive. So in Windows, the OS can be installed on a single drive, but Linux OS can be installed on multiple partition, which we'll be doing in few days time. So this will create one partition, one separate partition for slash. Under slash, you have some subdirectories like Windows folder contain, C drive contains folders. It's the same way. This is a main directory. This main directory contains subdirectories like /boot. So here, what we will do, we'll create one separate partition. This will be our second partition during installation. The subdirectories can be created, important subdirectories can be created separate partition, like /boot, separate partition. Now all the users data here in /home. So this will create third partition. So here all users data will be there. So suppose here you created U1, U2. So here also users data will be stored here. So first of all, some user send some virus file. So it will not execute because it will not allow by shell. Suppose due to some or the reason this folder got affected due to any reason. So once this get affected, maximum it will affect this because we have created a separate partition. So it will be part of that slash, but separate partition. So maximum it will affect this. So will it affect the whole OS? So this slash directory contain your complete Linux OS. Will it get affected? No. That's why Linux will be installed on multiple partition, which you cannot do in Windows. So Linux structure is much more safe and secure compared to Windows. So that's why it is mostly used on server. I hope you got some idea. Is that clear?
Sir, please explain one more time.
So yeah, I said we'll be discussing that the Windows will be installed on C drive. Linux will be installed on directory. So where the Windows OS get installed on C drive, when we install Linux OS, where it will get installed on slash. Slash is a directory which is called root directory. It contains many subdirectories, which we are going to discuss now. One of the subdirectories /boot. So while doing the installation, we'll create the subdirectory with separate partition, like /boot, /home. So /boot contain what? The main part of the Linux OS, that is kernel. So kernel will be stored here. So we create separate partition for /boot. All users data will be in /home. So we'll create separate partition during installation. When I show the installation, we'll do. So if one folder, so once you create the user, how many users, that many folders like Windows will be created. So if any one folder get affected due to anything, it will affect maximum this partition, not entire OS. This is what I was telling you. Did you understood?
Yes, sir.
The setup will is more secure, stable compared to Windows. That's why you will find Linux most commonly used in the companies on their servers. Did everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, where exactly what data will be stored in Linux, we'll be discussing in detail. So under the topic called file system. So file system shows where exactly what type of data will be stored in Linux. So once you understand this, you can able to operate the Linux OS. So first thing you have to remember that if anybody asks, if you install the Linux OS, in which drive it will get installed, to confuse you, they'll ask this. So in Windows, the OS will get installed on C drive, but in Linux, where the OS will get installed on there is no drive letter. In Linux, everything is based on directory. So it will get installed on the directory. Which directory? That is called root directory. So Linux uses what? Directory. So in Windows, partition is accessed with drive letter. In Linux, partition is also accessed with directory. In Windows, DVD is accessed with drive letter. Here, DVD is accessed with directory. So everything in Linux is accessed with the directory. In Windows, through drive letter. Because Windows OS is based on drive letter, because OS installed on C drive. Linux is installed on slash, which is called root directory. So see here, I have written. So here the Linux OS get installed on the directory, which is called // which is called root directory. So in Linux, you have to understand root is different, root directory is different. Slash is called root directory, which contain Linux OS. Whereas when we say just root, When we say root, root is a user. In Linux, root, when we say root, if they say just root, you have to understand root is a user. Which user? Administrator. So administrator account name in Linux is root. Are you understanding? So you
Sir,
should
what
not,
is the
you should not say Linux will be installed on multiple drives. You should say Linux can be installed on multiple partition. Drive letter concept is not there here. Directories will be there. So whichever subdirectory is important, we can allocate them separate partition while doing the installation in Linux OS, which we can't do in Windows. Is that clear? Devi
sir,
Prasad.
what is the difference between root and root user?
See, root, as you are saying, root is a user means it is an administrator user. When we say root directory means it is a directory which contain Linux OS. So if you want to understand, Linux, you need to understand clearly the difference. See here, when I say here slash, so slash is a directory. Slash is a directory. Which directory? Root directory. It is called as a root directory. When I say just slash is a directory, which directory? Root directory, which contain Linux OS, When I say root is a user. Which user? Administrator user. So what is the administrator username in Linux? In Windows, we are called that as a administrator. In Linux, we call root. So when we say only root, it is a user. Which user? Administrator user. That is a directory. This is a user. Did you understood?
Yes, sir.
So if we start the structure, we may not able to complete in time. So better in detail, in depth, we will discuss this in tomorrow's session. Is it okay? So I hope all of you will be joining in tomorrow's session. So each and
Yes, sir.
everything we will discuss in detail. So once you understand this, you can understand the Linux and you can able to work on Linux. Because now 5 minutes are remaining. So in 5 minutes, we can't complete. So it is better we'll do it tomorrow. Is it fine for everybody? Because I just repeated things multiple times. First, there was one mistake from my side. I did not just started the recording. So some people were new, so I repeated for them without recording got on. So then again, same thing I repeated with the recording. So it took some time hours. So better we'll do this file system structure tomorrow. Is there any problem?
No, sir, no problem.
So before I close today's session, if you have any questions, any doubt, you can ask me. Yes, anybody, any questions, any doubt? You please ask
No,
me.
sir, no more question.
So can I close the session and can we meet tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. Indian time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, everybody? Okay, so can I close the session? Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Good night. I'm closing the session. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, sir.
Okay.